Moving on to the Ukraine war now. A week ago, the Russian President Vladimir Putin, in a rare show of intent from Moscow, spoke of ending the war in Ukraine. He did not speak of de-escalation, but an end to that war. Listen into what he said.
Our goal is not to wind down this war, this conflict, but on the contrary, to end this war. We are striving for this and we will continue to strive for this. So we will seek to make sure that it all ends, and the sooner the better, of course. As for what happens, I've said it many times, intensifications of military actions will lead to unjustified losses.
Now, exactly 7 days on, Putin has rejected Zelensky's 10-point peace plan. 2 points in the Ukrainian president's peace plan created serious obstacles. One was regarding restoring Ukraine's territorial integrity and implementation of the UN Charter. And 2, withdrawal of the Russian troops along with restoration of Ukraine's state borders with Russia. The Kremlin dismissed it, reiterating that Kyiv must accept Russia's annexation of the 4 regions, Luhansk and Donetsk in the east, Kherson and Zaporizhia in the south. Moscow says there can be no peace plan that does not take into account today's realities regarding the Russian territory with the entry of 4 regions. From talking of an end to that war to completely dismissing Ukraine's peace plan, Russia has returned to its aggressive stand in this conflict. Its foreign minister, in fact, said Zelensky's idea of driving out Russia of eastern Ukraine and Crimea with help from the West is an illusion. Not just that, Lavrov also said that Russia's military is working on new plans to cut off the supplies of weapons and ammunition sent from abroad to Ukraine. But is Zelensky's 10-point peace plan all that has irked Russia? Or is there more to this? Could the Ukrainian president's recent visit to Washington have escalated matters? When Putin spoke of ending this war, it came after several rounds of below-the-radar negotiations between generals, spy chiefs, diplomats of America and Russia. Authorities of the highest levels from both sides have held talks, not once, but several times. In October, for that matter, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin held a series of calls with his Russian counterpart. They discussed the situation in Ukraine. Even the intelligence chiefs of the 2 countries held a meeting last month, and like we said earlier, the intelligence chiefs cannot be holding this meeting without permission from the principals. So the signaling, especially in the last quarter of this year, was very clear. What turned it around so quickly is the immediate question. Responding to the Biden-Zelensky Washington meeting, Russia said neither Ukraine nor the U.S. want peace. Moscow, in fact, called the meeting provocative and said that it would lead to an escalation with severe consequences. And it did. Kherson has been witnessing intense shelling and missile attacks from the Russian forces across the Dnipro River, and there have been civilian casualties and immense damage to the civilian infrastructure. We told you why the Kherson Oblast is strategically important for Russia. It's often called the gateway to Crimea, and it is crucial for Moscow to establish complete control of a coastal land corridor starting from Donetsk and Luhansk to Kherson city on the Dnipro River, and this would make the gateway to Crimea exclusive to Russia. Other Ukrainian cities are also witnessing Moscow's wrath. Capital Kyiv and the northeastern city of Kharkiv have witnessed massive aerial bombardment that sent the people rushing to shelters and knocked out power. Ukraine's military claims it shot down 54 missiles out of the 69 launched by Russia. It adds that Russia even launched air and sea-based cruise missiles, anti-aircraft guided missiles at Ukraine's energy infrastructure. This after an overnight assault by kamikaze drones. As the war in Ukraine draws closer to completing a year, a clear shift in Russia's stand is evident. It has rejected a peace plan. It is calling Ukraine's ambitions an illusion and it has escalated its offensive. But can the world afford to enter 2023 with a remorseless and a war where thousands have lost their lives, millions have lost their livelihoods? WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.